Hey everyone, I'm Chris and this is my son Ricky.
Hey guys.
Hey, today we're going to be talking about a problem that many of you may have ran into. We were going to make some hand sanitizer, but we found out that you have to use 91 to 99% isopropyl alcohol. Well, the problem is that's not available in stores anywhere. You go to Walmart or Walgreens or Target and they're out. I mean, their shelves are empty. So, we looked around on the internet and we found a solution. We can actually make our own 90% isopropyl alcohol, and we're going to talk about that next. All right, guys, we're all set up here. We've got our alcohol, which is 70%, which is not enough for hand sanitizer. We need to get it to 91 to 99%. We have a container, and we're going to use that for mixing our alcohol and our salt together. And we have a dish over here of non-iodized salt. Now, this is salt that you will generally have, for table salt, so it's nothing special. Nothing, you can get this at any kind of store, Walmart, Walgreens, whatever. So anyway, we're going to get started here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the lid off the container. And Ricky's going to be performing all the actions here for us. I just want to show you guys how simple this is. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to pour the alcohol into the container. Now, as you can see, this is a new thing of alcohol. It's sealed, just so you don't think that we're trying to trick you guys. So we're going to go ahead and remove that seal. We're going to pour that alcohol into the container. All right, so now that we've got the alcohol in the container, we're going to add our salt. Now you're going to want to add about 1/8 of the volume. So in this case, we're going to want to fill it up, to about 1/8 of what we see in there. It's kind of a guessing game. We might add a little bit less at first, so go ahead and add the salt. Now what's going to happen here, keep adding a little bit more, probably more. All right, that's good to start with. So what's going to happen here, in theory, is the salt is going to bond to the water molecules, and it's going to cause salt water. And that salt water is going to be heavier than the alcohol, so that salt water is going to go to the bottom and the alcohol is going to float to the top. So go ahead and put the lid on, and we're going to shake this up. Make sure it's nice and tight, not going to leak. All right, and then shake it up. Now you're going to want to shake this for quite a while, until the salt dissolves into the water. Everyone kind of dissolves salt in water before. You can kind of tell when it is, but it might take a minute or two for it to actually dissolve. You're going to want to fully dissolve it, and you're going to want to have enough so that that water is heavy enough to go to the bottom. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and see how that's doing so far. Yeah. Still isn't quite separating, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more salt to it. All right, let's put the lid back on and we're going to shake this up again. Now it does have a bit of an odor, so it is alcohol, so just keep that in mind so you're not sniffing it. Just keep shaking and shaking and shaking. Now this is probably going to be the longest part of the process, so your arms are probably going to get a bit tired, but as you can kind of tell in the picture, it's starting to get a little bit lighter. So let's go ahead and set that down again and see if it's ready to separate. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but we can see it here, and you can actually see the salt water starting to separate from the alcohol. We're going to give it a few more shakes just to make sure. I'm going to take a turn just so Ricky's arms don't get too tired. Maybe we can see that effect a little bit better on camera. All right, as the salt starts to go to the bottom, the alcohol, you can kind of see the alcohol starting to float to the top. I don't know how visible that is on camera, but on this side, you start to see a definite line where it separates. So down here you can see a salt water. There's actually quite a bit of salt in it. Can you see that on the camera? Definitely. All right, now that we have the alcohol separated from the salt water, the next step is to separate it. There's two ways you can do it. You can either try and pour it off, or in our case, what we're going to do is use a turkey baster. And we're going to suck that off the top and put our alcohol back in the container and get rid of the salt water. All right, everyone. As you can see, it was a pretty easy process, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we took like 70% alcohol and we made it into 99% alcohol. So now we can take that 99% alcohol, and then in the next episode, we're actually going to take that alcohol and make some homemade hand sanitizer. So I hope you guys join us next time, and I hope you enjoyed the content today. We'll see you next time.
Bye.